Live from the Akrs Broadcast Center, it's the Nebraska Athletics AD Show with Troy Dannon.
Wing to the near side, snap back. Pass some time. Steps, throws down the field. The pass is intercepted. Picked off by Sierra Wright to the 30, 25, 20. Sierra down the near sideline, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska. Sierra Wright with a pick six for Nebraska, and the Huskers have taken the lead on the road.
Babcock fires, diving dig by Laney. Sigler chases it, bump sets it over to left. Harper, big swing from a set from behind. It's off the dig it out of here. That is a courageous swing, and Sigler a great speed with the assist. 2016, Nebraska 5 to go. Up 8, now Nebraska, jack back. Alley, checkmate. Kaboom, 16-7.
Now, here's your host, Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome into the Nebraska Athletic Director Show with Troy Dannon, presented by Woodhouse. I'm Kyle Crooks. Happy that you could join us tonight. Start of a new athletic academic year. This is exciting. I was walking around campus today, Troy, and seeing the students around here for the first time. When I got here, it was July 1, so it was sort of empty, barren. Now this place is filling up. We're getting ready for a new football season, and the academics starting up as well.
Well, it's new for us. It's
yeah,
the first
I know,
chance
right?
you and I have had to do this together, but starting classes when it's 75 degrees outside, not a cloud in the sky, and a little bit of breeze out of the north. I mean, it's Chamber of Commerce wise, you couldn't pick a better time. But from an athletic standpoint, there's a lot to look forward to. I know, we joke about school, but honestly, the students are looking forward to school starting. They're excited for what lies ahead. But we have a lot of excitement in the department, looking forward to what lies ahead, even though we're off to a little bit of a start already in soccer and volleyball, but a lot to look forward to this fall.
Yeah, the excitement for what's coming up. You mentioned there's been sports that have been going already, but just the excitement of Thursday night and getting the opportunity to kick off year 3 for Coach Rule. We've been around practice, and you've been around Coach Rule now. Just the excitement of what you have and what you're seeing around football at the current moment. Well,
the only thing worse than having high expectations is having no expectations, so we're certainly in that high expectations mode, which gives you a little bit of maybe extra nerves headed into a game. But I know Coach likes where things are at, and I've been around a lot of coaches. This is 18 years for me. He's in a particularly calm place, has been the entire fall camp. I think that you can attribute that to maybe the staff changes and his comfort with the staff, just the growth of the roster that he's had, and I think he really did a really good job of filling in through the portal and in some areas where maybe they had some holes. So, yeah, I think everybody wishes it was Thursday night tonight.
Yeah, and how about the brand of Nebraska being ESPN, 8 o'clock, front and center? Now, it's also on the Husker Radio Network. We want to mention that as well. But being front and center for the nation to start a new season, a unique opportunity for Nebraska on Thursday night.
Yeah, it was a little bit like Illinois last year on a Friday night, right? Nobody really liked the Friday night game, but the exposure, I think the eyeballs were over 4 million for that game. And the Nebraska brand, even though maybe we haven't won as much in the last 20 years as we did the 20 years before that, the Nebraska brand is still very strong nationally. And as strong as it is here, it may carry the same weight nationally, whether we want to believe that or not. So ESPN strategically put that in its primest of prime time windows on Thursday night. But you're right, good opportunity for us to get off to a good start. And when you have a team you're excited about, you want to see it have as many eyeballs on that team as you possibly can.
And volleyball starting up as well. I was in Pinnacle Bank Arena. It's down the street from where I'm living right now. And to sort of get that first taste of that small pocket in the Haymarket area, in the rail yard, of what a football game day might look like, but to see 15,000 people in that building for those 2 matches to start out the Danny Busboom-Kelly era, that was special, is the word that I'll use.
Yeah, it was quite a weekend, for a lot of reasons. One, you normally don't get a start with playing the number 3 and number 6 ranked teams. It being Danny's first 2, the fact that we had not played in Pinnacle Bank yet as a program. So there were a lot of news this weekend for us, and it was a great weekend weather-wise. Everybody had fun outside. And then our performance was, I think, very impressive the first night, and I think blew people's doors off the second night. And we knew there was a deep roster with a lot of talent there, and I think when you can change 2 starters after beating the number 3 ranked team and then come back and play that way against Stanford says a lot about the future of the program.
What have you liked about Danny so far in your conversations with her? And it's as I know, it's really tough to replace a legend, and that's what she's doing. How has she sort of leaned into what this is and the eyeballs on her?
Well, I think she's done a great job of making this her program, and that's always the challenge when you come in after somebody like John. It's still John's program. Danny's done a great job. One, just how she's managed things externally. She's been very aggressive talking about hanging banners, and I absolutely love that. You go to practice, and while they're teaching in practice, they're competing. There's a scoreboard, there's a clock, there's something going on in every drill, and I like that competitiveness, that pressure that they're going to see. They saw this weekend that hopefully they get to have a chance to see in Kansas City. They're seeing that every day in practice. So I really like how Danny goes about her business. And I know this, just with sitting around with Coach Rule, he came up and watched the games on Sunday. She's built relationships with the rest of the coaching staff already too. And this is a very unique place, I think, in that the support that coaches have for one another, but just the time they spend personally talking to one another. They're texting each other all the time. I joke about family. It's not but in some ways, we're all peers, we're all siblings. Everybody has a very close relationship with one another, and Danny stepped right into that.
And you're talking with all these coaches all the time, and once games and matches are getting played, we're not talking as much about rev share and on NIL, but it still plays a major factor, and it's been a big part of your world now for quite some time. How is Nebraska situated? You mentioned, in your opening press conference to start the athletic year, but how is Nebraska now situated in the rev share era?
First, you made a great point. I could not wait for games to get started, so we quit talking about other things. And we ran out of things to talk about, so we started discussing things that are irrelevant. But we're 2 months into the rev share. I think Nebraska's in a great place. I've talked about the financial model here and protecting that financial model where there's no draw off the institution and actually a contribution back to the academic side of the house. Being able to bring in the $20.5 million new expenditure from a rev share standpoint and protect that model, I think was a really key thing for us in the off season. And as we see challenges financially, across higher education for a lot of reasons at Nebraska, it's levels of state funding and it's federal research grants. The fact that we can operate independently gives us a chance to, still control our own fate more maybe than if we were relying on a feed from the institution to go about our business.
Is this the most challenging time in your experience as an athletic director, bar none? These last couple months or the last year, is this the most challenging times and things that you've had to deal with?
It's funny. When I started in 2008, I was an athletic director for all of 3 months, and the financial crisis hit. The housing market exploded. States reversed their funding and interest. It was extraordinarily challenging. COVID was its own set of challenges and uncertainties, and now this, I would say, in part, it's almost normal. If you didn't have some external force that was messing with your world, I'm not sure it would be normal. The nice thing is, though, the challenges that we currently have, most of them are about money, and most of them are financial. And yeah, you could say they always are, but the fact that in this particular case, it's really clearly a financial challenge that most institutions are dealing with. And Nebraska probably is as well positioned as anybody in the country to address those challenges. But that goes back to the fan base. The loyalty of our fan base over a long period of time has allowed us to be in a position to address whatever's going on now and not be aggrieved by it, but really use it as a vehicle to leap and to move forward. And I think, it's no coincidence. I think we're going to see a long run out of Danny in volleyball. It's no coincidence that football's, by all accounts, ready to make that turn that we haven't been able to make in the time of crisis around the enterprise. So when things are going well, when you're running your own house properly, crisis of the whole is sometimes an advantage to the few.
Great stuff. We still have a lot to cover. Brandon Meyer is going to join us coming up here in the next segment. Senior Associate AD of Marketing and Multimedia. We are sitting in this brand new palace on this second floor. Husker Vision, Husker Radio Network. We have a lot of things to touch on as well. Some of the things that you're going to see coming up in the 2025 football season. In football and retirement strategy wins, Stonebridge Wealth Systems Retirement Compass could be your winning strategy. Holistic planning with integrity for your future. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. More next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Hey Husker fans, get game ready at Alumni Hall, your ultimate Nebraska Cornhusker shopping experience. Upgrade your tailgate gear, shop officially licensed Nebraska clothing for the family, or load up on hats, gifts, and accessories. Spend $150 and you'll receive a $10 reward on your next purchase with Alumni Hall's Hall Pass rewards. Nebraska students, faculty, and military receive 10% off when shopping in store. Come shop at Alumni Hall, located in downtown and in the South Point Pavilion in Lincoln, or shop alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where Husker fans shop.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Shop Woodhouse, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram during the Make This the Summer event going on now. Lease the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee for just $289 per month. Visit us in Blair or Bellevue today. Woodhouse is your trusted Jeep dealer. 24 months, 10,000 miles per year. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra. For well-qualified returning lease customers, $19.99 down plus first payment and $2.99 doc fee due at signing. Stock number C250228. Offer expires 8/31/25. See dealer for details.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See Shelter Agents Pete Voles or Brent Ruggo in North Platte, or in Broken Bow, see Agent Brent Custer.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers. Driven by value.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. We are back on the Nebraska Athletic Director Show with Troy Dannon, but also joined by a very special guest, Brandon Meyer, Senior Associate AD, Marketing and Multimedia. This is the brains behind this whole operation here on this second floor. How about this? We were saying before the break, the palace we have here, huh, Brandon?
The brains are actually down there in the engineering offices, yes. But I get the pleasure to oversee kind of all of our media operations. So this has been a great project it's been in the works for a long time. And, I can't thank Troy enough for giving us the opportunity to kind of take over this space and upgrade some equipment that was long in the tooth and long overdue to be upgraded.
Yeah, and now it's the standard around the country, and you think the importance not just in broadcasting but in recruiting. When you walk a recruit through here and you see all the different things, if somebody wants to go into broadcasting, all the opportunities that they may have through these facilities. But you mentioned this was a long process, right? So when did this sort of start, the idea of turning this area now into this broadcast hybrid with Husker Vision, Husker Radio, and everything else?
On my first meeting with Troy, I think the question he asked me was like, what does winning look like in your areas? And I said, hey, winning to me is getting all of our creatives in one space. We have radio over here, we have Husker Vision here, we have digital media here. Like everybody at its core is creating content and telling the stories of our student athletes. And to me, kind of winning was to get everyone collaborating and, working efficiently and kind of break down a lot of our silos we had. And, this is going to be a tremendous space for that. And then on the other side, just the upgrades to Husker Vision. We have upgrades to a big screen here in the stadium, upgrades to our LED board at Pinnacle Bank Arena, and kind of having a state-of-the-art control rooms or 3 control rooms to operate all that and to make our live content as good quality as possible, or broadcast quality is something really special.
And, when I was on my interview here, the north end, that big video board was undergoing renovation. So on game days for the Husker fan that comes through, what are the noticeable changes when they look up to that video board and they see some of the differences there?
I think that first 11 a.m. game will really, fans will really notice. It's just a lot brighter. Just like any, an LED is a light bulb, right? Over time, it sort of gets dimmer, and the board was showing some wear and had some dead LED and dead pixels everywhere. And so this is going to be a lot brighter, a lot clearer picture. And again, it'll also kind of accept the 4K camera signals that we're going to feed it and make it as good as we can get it.
And the ability to broadcast just about everything that you can broadcast here on campus through that state-of-the-art control room. And, we saw the broadcast at Pinnacle Bank Arena, and you guys are doing the video board shows as well. But how does that improve what the Big Ten Plus aspect of what you guys do? Having those new control rooms, how does it help that?
Yeah, this concept of a centralized control room was kind of put into process when I was here in school in the late 90s when Husker Vision was built. I'll never forget when they were going to run fiber optic cable from the stadium to the Devaney Center and, kind of cross the railroad tracks. And that's how we were going to control all of these cameras. So it's come so far, but now we're connected to almost every athletic venue we have. And we can broadcast soccer and softball and baseball and wrestling and gymnastics and put it on the Big Ten Plus has a great platform, and but yeah, it's an amazing delivery channel. And now our students get to operate the latest and greatest in equipment and make those broadcasts as good as we can get them.
So you were a UNL grad too, and Husker Vision is in your background. So for you take a lot of pride in this project, right?
For sure. I kind of kept saying in the back of my mind, like, hey, we're building this for the next 30 years, right? Like they were in their same space for 30 years. I remember when we opened it up and it was state of the art. And I kind of kept thinking that as we went through this process. So what are the Husker Vision students in the next 30 years? What are they going to work with? And, can they keep cranking out students out of this program here in Husker Vision and in digital media that are kind of leaders across the country in, in the content and creative areas.
One of the things that we talked about in the last couple of years is if you look historically at Nebraska athletics, it's found a way to be a national leader in about everything. It was our strength program, and then the nutrition program, and we had suites really before anybody else had suites. Well, Husker Vision was a national leader, and while everybody has some version of this now, to really under Brandon's leadership and design, to have a facility and an operation that is once again the best in the nation. There's nothing that can touch this operationally, physically. So one of the things we've said about Nebraska, we should set the standard in everything we do, and this Husker Vision absolutely does that.
And Brandon, for you mentioned the students. How many students now are working on those Husker Vision shows and some of the other areas around this second floor?
Yeah, in all our creative units, Husker Vision, our digital media, our Husker Radio Network, and our photography team, there's about 100 students. So that was a key piece of this floor, is to design a space where they could have workstations and come in and create. And we couldn't do it without their help. Yeah. It takes a small army to put on all of these events, and there's about 150 live broadcasts a year. So those run about 6 to 8 hours. So, the students are crucial to our operation, and it's crucial to our mission here at the university, right? Like, give these students experience that will help them, in their career endeavors after they leave here.
I thought I knew a thing or two about radio equipment when I came in here, and then I had a meeting with Brandon, and I realized I knew nothing because of the level of expertise. So I'm saying, hey, Brandon, we should get this, we should get that. And he said, no, we have everything you need. So he was breaking the radio equipment down and just the level of knowledge that you have on that side of it. But over my shoulder here, we have the photo area too. That's where the football had their the internal media days, volleyball had their internal media days up here, but that's a really cool space over there that also could act as somewhat of a TV studio as well.
Yeah, correct. The TV studio Husker Vision had was so small and had been for years, and I think they've almost quadrupled in size now, and now have a green screen psych where they can do student athlete videos. They'll have a set for our TV shows that we still do, and then space where our photographers can come in and set up their equipment. And we're doing so much. Every team here kind of gets a media day or two where the student athletes are coming in, and they take all kinds of photos and assets that they use the entire year. So it was neat. It was neat to see the volleyball team come in and use the green screen. They were filming TikToks and doing different things, and they said, can we use this anytime? So it was great to just watch kind of a new generation of student athletes go, oh my gosh, can we utilize this? So.
Troy, we got to get you on TikTok.
No, we do not.
Okay.
No, we do not.
I just threw it out there.
Coach Rule did a TikTok last year with Harper Murray, and I never thought I'd see that. And I'm not sure Coach will ever do a TikTok again. But he's a lot more into the current day and age of communications maybe than I am. I mean, he's got a podcast now, but it's because of Husker Vision's capabilities that have really allowed that podcast to happen.
So Twitter, but no TikTok.
Twitter's as far as I'm going to go.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, let's get into the Cornhusker kickoff. So a really cool feature to game days here around Memorial.
Yeah, for so long we had the Husker Nation Pavilion out in the infield of the track. And when we built the Osborne Legacy Complex, that space kind of went away. So this is something we've wanted to bring back, just a space where fans can come and pregame and enjoy themselves. Kids activities, some autographs. We're going to have some entertainment, some food and beverage, and it's all going to be in the Hawks Indoor Championship Center there 4 hours before kickoff. So really excited. We're kicking it off with a bang. We have Maddie and Tay coming in for our first game there, and so we're excited.
I wanted to wrap up on this, too. Also, a deal with Verizon, $20 million investment from them to enhance cell coverage inside Memorial Stadium. What could you tell me about that?
Yeah, we've been working a long time with Verizon to build a neutral DAS. So a neutral DAS really means that it's built by Verizon, but other carriers can jump on and get their cell signals out. we've sort of had every carrier had their own system, and there were just kind of radio waves shooting all over, and they weren't real powerful. Now Verizon has invested almost $20 million into a stadium-wide DAS that will improve the phone coverage for every fan, no matter what your carrier is. It was neat for me to walk out the other day, and the ultra wideband kind of showed up on my phone. And man, it's going to be good for our fans. It's been a struggle sometimes to send a photo or a long video text message, and I think that's going to be greatly improved for our fans this year.
It's a big part of the fan experience for sure. So no Troy on TikTok, but maybe Brandon, we can get you on TikTok.
I don't know about that.
Okay, all right. I tried, audience. Senior Associate AD Brandon Meyer, appreciate the time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We'll be back with Troy Dannon as well. Nebraska Athletic Director show with Troy continues. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. We broadcast inside the Akrs Broadcast Center, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Back with Troy Dannon next.
Hi, I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and co-founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program.
And I'm Des Moines Adams, Husker Black Shirt and CEO of Teammates Mentoring.
We are recruiting Teammates mentors and need caring adults to be in the lives of our students.
Meeting with a student once a week at the school can make a positive impact in their life and have a ripple effect in our communities.
Please join our team.
Go to teammates.org today.
Make the most of August with a new ride from Woodhouse Chevy. Whether it's one last road trip, giving the kids back to school, or upgrading your daily drive, we'll help you find the perfect vehicle for wherever life takes you. From dependable trucks to spacious SUVs, you'll find incredible selections and special financing options available now. Shop online or visit us at one of our 2 locations in Omaha or Missouri Valley. Woodhouse Chevy. Together, let's drive.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Jan from Toyota here, with live coverage of end of summer fun at Toyota's National Sales Event with my special guest, Eli Manning.
Thanks, Jan. Let's get into it.
Down by the lake for some fishing, we've got Eric in his Tundra. He throws his line, and he's going long!
Heck of a team effort there. That Tundra got him exactly where he needed to be.
There's excitement in the stadium parking lot with the Davis family tailgating in their new Sequoia.
All eyes are on Dad manning the grill. He grabs some buns from the cargo area of the Sequoia and flips. And look at that! What a way to close this one out.
Sure was, Eli. Until next time, go Toyota!
See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 2nd. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, or Corwin Toyota of Bellevue.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Exarban Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See shelter agent Rhonda Miller in Alliance, Stephanie Culver in Holdridge, or Jonna Austin in Fairbury.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Nebraska Athletic Director Show with Troy Dannon, presented by Woodhouse. And Troy, as we continue on the show, great stuff with Brandon talking about all the things on this floor, Cornhusker kickoff. But how about when the fans enter Memorial Stadium, some of the differences that they'll see with concessions, and now, of course, for the first time for football, alcohol sales. So there's going to be some differences here at Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, and I think every school year that starts, last year we had a new security system at the entrances, but from ticketless access now and mobile ticketing to, as you said, Aramark alcohol sales, no passing out once you're in, a lot of changes as you normally have, but. I think that's just part of the evolution of how we go about our business. I'm thrilled Aramark has had a little bit of a run here with a couple of soccer games, and they've done a couple of internal events for us. But they do this. They've been at a lot of places. They've introduced alcohol sales at a number of our peer institutions. So, it's not a matter of I wonder if this works, I wonder if that works, or what do you guys think? They have a model and been thrilled with what they're ready to do. I think the highlight for me was they announced last week that they're going to have 121,000 tall boys cold during the game, and my social media lit up, and so did my email. Most of it was, "You're crazy. That's not nearly enough, and you're going to get lit on fire because you don't have enough beer, and you're going to run out of beer." And I would say, trust, we will not run out of beer. The 121,000 is not a number that that's come across by accident. So I feel pretty good that they're all prepared. There's still work being done in the concourses to get set up, and we're kind of try to retrofit the concourses now, knowing that there's a stadium project coming and things are going to look a lot different. So not trying to blow out walls, but trying to make everything fit in here and in anticipation of what this will look like in the next 2-3 years. And they've just been a great partner so far to get started. And I know you mentioned the stadium project there, but right now it's on hold, and eventually the planning's still taking place, and it'll eventually come to pass here. But your thoughts on where the planning is right now and eventually where that might be? Yeah, I would say, one, you can't pause a pause. And so, we kind of put the thing on hold last spring and decided really to take basically a total reset. I could argue that the actual Husker Vision project is maybe step one of the work that's going to be done inside the stadium that would have had to have been done to get the project done. But, we did say earlier this month that not going to take the project to the board for final approval. There's just too much uncertainty throughout campus. And I think it's important sometimes Husker fans and even us in the department realize that, we are part of a bigger university, and we just don't go do whatever we think should be done regardless of where the university's at. So I guess the pause has been extended, if you will, but it's not preventing us from continuing to do the work, getting the plans made, getting the financial model so that at some point in the very near future, we'll go back to the board, look for their approval, and then move forward with the project. My plans really haven't changed from a when do we get this done standpoint, and I don't know at what point how much longer we would have to wait before they would, but I feel like we're in pretty good shape still with that 26, 27 timeline. And if things happen. It's kind of an uncertain time in higher ed right now. And I'm looking at the list of facilities that are
being upgraded here at Nebraska, and it's at the state of the art. Like here, facilities are going to be at the top of anywhere in the country. But of course, the expansion of Devaney, that'll be 10,000 plus. And Tyler Kai was on here talking about the reseeding as well. And you can go. I suggest you go back and listen to that. But a new range for the rifle team, a new indoor and putting facility for men's and women's golf, new locker rooms for men's and women's golf and rifle. So, you think about college athletics, and sometimes a lot of people like to focus on what we call those revenue sports. But if you're a student athlete here at Nebraska, you're getting a world-class experience.
So in a perfect world, the golfer and the quarterback enjoy the same experience.
Mm-hmm.
There's different money involved, right? And there's different notoriety and attention involved. But the experience, the part that we provide from medical care to sports medicine to academic support to behavioral medicine, all of that, facilities, lockers, everything should be the same. And that's a very important goal of any department. The continuing work on facilities, and we've talked about Nebraska not having debt and what a great asset that is. Debt's is a tool, and there'll be debt on the stadium, in some way, shape, or form, some fashion, right, to get a project like that done. But where a lot of schools run afoul of debt is to build their rifle range, to redo their golf facility. They took debt to do it and mortgaged, future television revenues or other things to get those projects done, which meant as we had $20.5 million come due, there was no new revenue stream to pay for it. Well, we were able to do that because of no debt, because when the rifle range has been done or the golf facility has been done, that's been done either through our operating budget or through philanthropy. The track project, another one, that's a $12, $13 million completion phase 2 of the track project that's being done right now, again through philanthropy and operating dollars, no debt. And so when you can not take debt on non-revenue sport projects, or in other words, when you take debt to do non-revenue sport projects, it's a problem. And we've been able to do that through, again, philanthropy and the support of our fans.
And that's what I wanted to touch on. So record donations, $70+ million coming into the athletic program. But the support that athletics has seen has been incredible, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has been. The number is important. The financial number is important. The number of donors probably even more important because that is also at a record, and that's maybe an indicator that your base is still healthy and growing. I think part of it, we don't talk about this much, and we have our successes, and like everybody does, you have your highs and lows competitively. I've just been so impressed with how our student athletes represent the university, how our coaches represent the university, and when you're the flagship, you represent the state as well. Whether you're a Nebraska fan or whether you're not a Nebraska fan, the Huskers represent you. And you want to make sure those coaches and athletes represent you in a way that you're proud of. And they do such an amazing job here. We just got a great group of student athletes. Our coaches have high demands, not just competitively, but socially as well as academically. And you put all that together, and I think it allows all of this stuff to happen. And if any one of those links in the chain was broken, I'm not sure we'd be where we are.
And the indoor hitting area and putting area, is there? Do I get the ability to use that at all? Is Troy Dannon, you checking out the swing at all lately?
It's key card protected,
okay.
And I did already ask the question. I said, does my card work? And actually, it's funny. I specifically asked that the only cards that work were the coaches and the golf athletes, just so it didn't become an indoor hitting bay for everyone else to go into. But the putting facility is a wow, and obviously you don't get 12 months a year outside here, but it's going to really help our golf teams.
And the investments that you've made, I've been out at football practice a lot, as you have as well, and that Bermuda grass, it's like a soft pillow on your feet, but that investment means a lot to this football program.
Well, we talk about how there's fewer injuries, and you can probably point to, well, there's still injuries. Yes, there is. It's a brutal sport. Football's a brutal sport. Where that grass is really going to show up is in October, when the wear and tear on everybody's bodies that you normally get in August has really been diminished because we played on that soft grass. And I don't think until this week, Coach went inside the stadium at all with practices. Maybe for the one scrimmage we had open to the public, but every practice and every other scrimmage has been on the grass. And so that'll pay long-term dividends to our athletes for sure.
And when you have, and you would know this answer, but when it gets much colder out, how does that affect that specific grass surface? Or are you going to have to tear that out, put a new one in? How does that work?
We'll start to overseed here soon. So it'll be more of a rye field when we get into the colder months, and it'll brown up as Bermuda does when it gets into the colder months. But we were able to partner with the university and use the resources and assets. Well, we do that on the medical side. We also did it on the ag side, and so their guidance and advice in helping us on the turf, knowing that this grass 5-10 years ago might not have stood a chance, but the evolution of grass, and they knew what grass to put in here, has really been helpful.
We're going to talk, we still got one more segment left here with Troy. We're going to talk about being a part of the College Football Playoff Committee, just sort of how your duties here with Nebraska, that those two get managed. And, of course, we get closer to kickoff. We'll continue to talk about the start of football season, volleyball season. Still a lot to touch on here in the time that we have left with Athletic Director Troy Dennett. In football and retirement, strategy wins. Stonebridge Wealth Systems Retirement Compass could be your winning strategy. Holistic planning with integrity for your future. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. We wrap it up with Troy next.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers. Driven by value.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Back on the Nebraska Athletic Director Show with Troy Dennett, presented by Woodhouse, our final segment. All right, we teased it, and you're going to be a busy man this fall, Troy. You're going to obviously have your duties here as Athletic Director of Nebraska, but also a member of the College Football Playoff Committee. Pretty cool.
Yeah, when I originally got the call, I said no. I haven't been here very long, and I think there's going to be a great time commitment, and I thought there was things I needed to have all my attention and focus here, and talking to my peers, talking to the president, talking to Coach Rule, I think everybody believes there's a big benefit to the university to doing it, and having that Nebraska. Coach Osborne was in that room, Will Shields was in that room. But to have that chance to be in the room, even though you don't advocate for Nebraska, you have to be out of the room when Nebraska is being talked about. But neat opportunity, and I think part of it is I feel like we have a great staff here. We're really, I would say in some ways, the day-to-day hums along pretty good. And with that confidence, I think knowing that I'm going to leave on Sundays and be gone for a day and a half before I get back, every week, the last half of the season. For the committee meetings, I have a lot of faith and confidence we're not going to miss a beat. like where our programs are at. So neat opportunity. Going to watch a lot of football, that's for sure.
So Saturdays, take me through what the routine would be. You're all in on Nebraska. You're watching Nebraska, but you have to be locked in on everything when it comes to the college football playoff picture. So that DVR is going to be working.
It is, and the one nice thing that the playoff committee administration does, I will get television cuts and I'll get coaches cuts of essentially every game in the country. And they'll be condensed down to about an hour. So I can watch most games if I don't see them or don't record them. I can watch most games in an hour. And I'll try to get that done with, not every game is relevant to watch, but I will watch enough and probably somewhere, easily 15 to 20 games in a weekend. I've prepared my wife, I've prepared my family, but it's worse things to do than watch football, but, it's just not watch the game, but it's evaluate. And there's so much data that we're provided, besides just the eye test, so much data that we're provided. So I'm looking forward, we've had a couple of meetings. I haven't actually been in the room yet for a discussion and debate, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how that goes. You might have to put your Twitter mentions on mute just for when those meetings start, because you're not going to just hear from you're going to hear from all over the place. Yeah, and that's probably the committee's been the center of a lot of attention, which is fine. That comes with it. You accept it, and nothing beats passion. And so it's fun to be in the middle of it, but the committee does great work. They have historically. I know how much data is there. I know the integrity of the people in the room before me, and I have no reason to believe that's not going to continue. So some of the big news this week as well when it comes to college football, the SEC announcing that they are going to go to a 9-game schedule. So from your position, what's the domino effect of something like that? Well, I think, putting my CFP hat off for a second, right, and my Big Ten AD hat back on, I think all of us as conferences look a lot different than they looked 10 years ago, just from a sheer number of schools. Though all of us playing the same number of games, the ACC has a different challenge. They've got 15 schools, so getting to 9, they play 8 right now, is a little bit of a challenge with an odd number. But getting to that 9, I think, is an important thing, so we can look as much alike as you evaluate records, at least. The whole non-conference and what is the non-conference, what's the best methodology for scheduling the non-conference. I think when we're all playing the same number of conference games, those non-conference games are going to start to be looked at and analyzed in a different way, probably with more scrutiny. Which is welcome. We dropped our Tennessee series, not necessarily because of the playoff piece, but because of the anticipation of stadium construction. But we also did it knowing that in the world in which we're currently living, or lived in last year, that game had the potential to do more harm than good. So you put all those things together, you don't play it. I've already been talking to an SEC AD about adding a home and home. Right now we have home and homes with Arizona, Oklahoma State, and then a return from Cincinnati over the next 7 years. But when those 7 are done, doing another home and home with an SEC, it's important. I think we continue to have, and I think you will see a need and desire to want to upgrade non-conference schedules. The 9 games probably the first domino in that happening. And the clarity of the strength of schedule metric now that the CFP committee had put out, I would presume now the health of college football is going to be in a really good spot with some of these games that we're going to see here coming up here this weekend, starting on Thursday with Nebraska and Cincinnati. But some of these Power 4 on Power 4 matchups, the health of this sport is going to grow even more now with some of the guidelines around the strength of schedule in the non-conference. Yeah, I'm sitting here talking about scheduling in 35 and 36. We're probably our own worst enemy in that we're scheduling out that far and not maybe scheduling a year or 2 out. But football games are just such massive operations, both home and when you're traveling. It's we want to get things done well out in advance if we possibly can. But there's great games in the non-conference starting just this weekend that we're going to see, and not counting hours. And in every play, I think the one thing I have learned from the college football playoff committee is, and I've heard it before, but I'm seeing it now, every play matters. Every game matters. So regardless of who you're playing and whether you're playing the number 1 ranked team in the country, you're playing the number 133 ranked team in the country, you have to approach every game knowing it matters.
And so I'm glad we touched on that, but I also want to get to the black alternate jerseys, the blackout against USC. Really, really cool uniforms, and great job by Adidas there on that set.
Yeah, it's interesting. Alternate uniforms usually get, at most schools, they get a lot of support. Here, I would say it's 50-50. I've gotten a lot of communication, how dare you? I no Nebraska fan wants this, and then the next 3 communications I get are from Nebraska fans saying this is so cool. I'll tell you, my position on alternate uniforms is always this. And when I walked in the door and I talked to the coaches, I said, tell me, what do you need? What do you want? What are you hearing? What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses? Every sport coach, baseball, volleyball, they wanted to wear the alternate uniforms because the athletes want to wear them. And, as I told Matt, as we were talking about this, if they think they look cool and if they think they're going to run faster and jump higher and make one more play, let's put them on. But they're alternates. In some ways, I think what we need to do in football, I think we'll do alternates every year moving forward. But what's the theme behind the alternate? And trying to figure that out. It needs to be a something game. Is there a cause or initiative that should be behind the alternate uniform game? Should the alternates be sold, to raise money for a cause? There's lots of things to think about. I think we'll roll out. I think the entire new set of uniforms is coming in the next year or two, and then how we alternate. What do we do for an alternate in there? But they're here to stay, and it is the way of the world, and it is really the wishes of the athletes that really drive this.
We got about a minute left, but you mentioned that maybe we might see some concerts or some events here inside Memorial Stadium. We're in the revenue-generating business. If Troy Dannon wanted a concert at Memorial Stadium, what's the band? What are we thinking?
Oh, it's going to be country, that's for sure.
Okay.
It's going to be country. I like both kinds of music, country and Western. I think we have to think entrepreneurially. And, we have a massive asset in the stadium. We also have a soon-to-be 10,000-seat building. And how do we find ways to generate new money? Because the costs are going to continue to go up. And honestly, ticket prices can't continue to go up. And so how do we find ways to address those costs, keep that financial model, but yet not just pass it on to our ticket holders who really have driven us to the place we are, and say, we're just going to go ahead and do this. Now, there's some things that we'll catch up on. We had some increases in volleyball this year and some of the donations, and with the reseeding, some things happen. But we can't get to the point where our tickets are the highest in the market by any means.
Well, Troy, this was a blast. First of many conversations. Thanks for coming in.
Appreciate it. I'm so glad you're here, Kyle.
That's great. Athletic Director Troy Dannon. Start of a exciting athletic year coming up. We thank Troy. We thank Brandon as well. Coming up here on the network, we'll have the Nebraska Volleyball Show with Danny Busboom Kelly, voice of Husker Volleyball. John Baylor will be with you for the next hour. Tomorrow, Sports Nightly, Nick Hanley will be in as Jess and myself travel to Kansas City. Our football broadcast will begin at 4 p.m. Central Time. That is on Thursday. For Troy Dannon, I'm Kyle Crooks saying so long. The Nebraska Volleyball Show is next.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did. Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See shelter agent Dory Milberger or Darren Frazier in Omaha or agent Terry Dingwell in Fremont.
At Woodhouse Ford, we're here to help you elevate your summer plans with a vehicle built for every destination. From the adventure-ready Bronco Sport to the rugged F-150, the entire Ford lineup is equipped with the latest technology and reliable safety features so you can drive with confidence. With flexible financing options and a seamless buying experience, it's easier than ever to get behind the wheel of your new vehicle from Woodhouse Ford. Shop our current offers online or visit us in-store at one of our 3 locations in Blair, Omaha, and Plattsmouth.
It's time for the Nebraska Volleyball Coaches Show.
She sails this one to the back right. Pass is made by Veerlon. Outside set, shot by Babcock. She's blocked! Adriana got in front of Olivia Babcock. The Big Red by 2. Served by Andrew. Good pass to Nebraska. Wow, set behind Bergen. Kaboom! Angie Jackson putting dents in the PBA deck. It's Nebraska 6, Stanford 4. Serve goes to Maisie. Perfect pass to slide. Rebecca. Kaboom! Woohoo! Pass set. See you later. 24-14.
Now, alongside head coach Danny Bus Boom Kelly, here's your host, John Baylor.
It's early, so we want to learn about our team, and I've been preaching to these guys like they have to make each other better, and we're going to use everybody on this roster when we need them.
Sails it to the back middle. Guided to the center. Park. It's not a good set to Rubin. She can only roll shot and right side swing. Allie Check finishes off the Cardinal with her first swing and her first kill. Harper sails it to the back right. Decent pass. Quick attack in the middle. Tip shot won't drop. Now Nebraska. The slide. Jackson. Kaboom! Boy, gravity merely an annoyance for Andy Jackson at 16-11. Serve goes a Blashoff, bad pass. Bump set right back to her. Julia Blashoff fires, and good block touch, Doug. Here comes the Huskers right side. Allie Check for the win. We're done. Nebraska sweeps Stanford. Allie Check leads the Big Red with 12 kills and a quick one. 3 sets over the 9-time national champs.
Today wasn't an anomaly. Like that is us. And we're not going to play that great every single night, but now we kind of set the bar of what we're capable of.
Greetings, Nebraska, and welcome into your Nebraska Volleyball Show. Those were the happy sounds of the late Sunday afternoon AVCA first serve sweep over then number 6 Stanford. Your Huskers are 2-0 to start 2025, and on Tuesday nights at 6 o'clock, solder your radio dial to this location on your favorite Husker Sports affiliate, because we're going to bring you the Nebraska Volleyball Show, which means we're typically each week going to bring you Danny Busboom Kelly. We should tell you this one is pre-recorded. However, you can participate by sending us texts at this phone number, 402-413-2400, 402-413-2400, or you can go at Huskers Radio and use this, social media platform called Twitter. Goes by a single letter at this juncture, and that's how you can communicate with us. You can also find my Twitter account there as well. I'm John Baylor, visiting now with the brand new, still undefeated Husker helmswoman, Danny Busboom Kelly. Hello.
Hello.
How are you feeling after this weekend?
Feeling great. I mean, it's hard not to. We played really well. The Pinnacle Bank Arena was amazing. It was the first start of college volleyball, so many positives.
Do you wish there were an AVCA second serve and then maybe a third serve? I just keep serving.
Yeah, exactly. That would actually be perfect if they could bring the light shows.
Nice.
And all. Yeah.
I didn't see you guys on the bench wearing bracelets. What was the story there?
Ooh, that.
You could have been on
question.
the whole light show.
We should have participated.
Had other foci, other things you were focusing on. Now, let's go back to Friday night. Everyone's getting all gooey around the state and all excited. They should be, but Friday night could have gone either way. Let's go back to 21-18 Pittsburgh, set 1. You win 7 of the last 8 points. How'd you do that?
Just the maturity of our team and emotional maturity. They stuck with the game plan. I think we were pretty amped up to start the match, and we're making a lot of crazy errors, but we settled in and started executing what we'd worked on, and Taylor Landfair's blocks were huge. That was a big part of the game plan, is how we're going to slow down Babcock, especially from the back row. So to see her get those 2 blocks, and that was huge. So I just thought they were really mature and handled the stress great.
Taylor had 8 blocks. How did you slow down Olivia Babcock from the back row?
Taylor Landfair blocked her.
From the front. So you're throwing up by yourself, or did she have a little bit of help?
Oh, a little bit of help. And we knew Olivia was going to get front row sets, back row sets, equal opportunity. And she's great at both of them. Almost better to have her in the front row because she's so good out of the back row, and that's something that's very unique that you don't see every day in practice.
How can someone be better 10 feet away than 3 feet away just because there's more territory?
More territory, and again, it's just something you don't see in your gym. We're used to playing against great right side hitters every day, but not great back row right side attackers.
And you talked about some crazy errors and the team being a little amped up. Rebecca Alec, I mean, I was encouraging folks sitting in the front rows to like wear helmets because the ball, she was firing that ball all over the place, but she settled down later in the match.
Yes, she did. And she was great out of the gate against Stanford. So it was good to see her make an adjustment.
And she's just so fun to celebrate, watching her celebrate as well. But Lainey Choboy in the back row quietly amassed 16 team-leading digs in that match. I just remember one shanked pass the entire weekend. I probably don't have the exact, recall that you do with the official stats, but how do you think your back row did?
They were fantastic, and they passed well. They defended really well, just impressive all the way around. And we went up against, Pitt, who has some great jump servers, and really did a nice job. And then we faced Stanford, who has a great jump server, and historically they're a team that they bomb. They don't care that much about errors, so that's two of maybe the toughest serving teams we're going to see all year.
Yeah, Stanford's like, service errors, so what? I mean, it's just like this and fire away. They had 24 service errors against Nebraska 3 years ago, last time they beat us.
Yep.
Anyway, we're using a microscope here to try to find something to be a little concerned about for the Huskers. Serving. Give us a letter grade on overall serving at the ABCA first serve.
Yeah, I would say C+.
Okay.
B.
We can definitely
we definitely can serve tougher. I did think our service pressure from Friday to Sunday had improved, which is a great sign. Now it's just taking it to the next level, and there's some good volleyball going on already. I don't know if anybody tuned into the Penn State Kansas match and the Texas A&M Minnesota match. So if you want to survive this season, you're going to have to serve tough because it's pretty hard to stop anybody on a great pass.
So Pittsburgh loses to Florida, which lost to Stanford. Nebraska beat Stanford, barely beat. It's very confusing. And then KU nearly loses to Vanderbilt, which frankly was undefeated in the last 40 years, but still nearly lost that one, and then almost beats Penn State. I think KU's got one of the great setters in the country, the transfer from Oregon.
Yeah, but she didn't play. They played the other setter who did a fantastic job.
So they have two incredible setters.
Yeah.
I mean, she was Kristen Klein's her name, the transfer from Oregon. They had another one I haven't seen play. So KU is like the epicenter of setting depth at this point this year.
Like
who would have thought? All right, so we're going to go to the Twitter line here. We're visiting with Danny Busboom Kelly. This is your Nebraska volleyball show. Your Huskers are 2-0 and getting ready to take on Lipscomb Nation, the Lipscomb Bison on Friday night. And then Saturday morning, old friend Craig Skinner, your former assistant coach, longtime rival coach over there in the Commonwealth, the Bluegrass Commonwealth.
Yes,
very good. Bluegrass State, nice. This is from @golf_woodworker. A lot going on with that title. Coach, what is the thought behind letting the big serve, Andy Jackson was serving, and playing that position for one series? Wouldn't it be more beneficial to have a small defensive player rotate into serve and be on defense?
We kind of talked about serving is so important. So we're probably going to try to get our toughest 6 servers in the rotation. And Andy Jackson has a great serve. I mean, she scored, was our best point scorer. So I don't know what else you want. She didn't miss any digs either. And she got a kill. So that's quite the service run.
Yeah. I don't see like Lainey Choboy firing lasers from the back row very often. No. So whereas it was Andy, she went up once and kaboom.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another option.
No, but you do want to be strategic, and we'll use our littles throughout the year in different moments. But Andy has proven to have a pretty consistent tough serve.
Why is it? Because it starts high and just never goes up. It's a downward trajectory the whole way.
Yep.
So that's a little trickier. You don't see that very often in the gym.
Right.
You usually see kind of up and then you come down.
Yeah.
Getting very scientific here. This initial Nebraska volleyball show. Although you had a Nebraska volleyball show last week.
Yeah,
with Jessica.
You were in here.
It was Truancy Tuesday for me. Sorry about that. Meanwhile, this is from @HannahBonanza33. John Cook's granddaughter Madden declared Merritt Beeson her favorite Husker. Does Boone have a favorite player?
He actually does. He likes Bergen, and that's because we had the team over, and she played with him hide and seek. So now he's I said Bergen the other night. He's like, "Oh, Mommy, I like Bergen."
Genius. You want to get in good with the head coach?
Exactly.
Get on the floor and play with the kid. What's Boone pushing? 3 now?
3.
3.5. Very nice. How's Jet doing? Is he okay?
He's good. He has not declared a favorite player yet.
It's a little early. All right. Has he declared anything audible at this point?
He's got some cute coos.
Danny Busboom Kelly will continue with your Nebraska Volleyball Show after you hear this.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hi, I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and co-founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program.
And I'm Des Moines Adams, Husker black shirt and CEO of Teammates Mentoring.
We are recruiting teammates mentors and need caring adults to be in the lives of our students.
Meeting with a student once a week at the school can make a positive impact in their life and have a ripple effect in our communities.
Please join our team.
Go to teammates.org today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Redefine your luxury shopping experience at Genesis of Southwest Omaha. Receive 2.99% APR for 60 months or 3.99% APR for 72 months on our 2025 Genesis GV80 3.5 Turbo Prestige models in stock. Plus, enjoy up to $5,000 loyalty or competitive owner bonus. With approved credit, tax title license extra. When financed with Genesis Finance. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 8/31/25. See dealer for details.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See Shelter Agent Sharon Lear in Papillion, Paul Hoos in Grand Island, or an Ord Sea Agent Matt Woodward.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers. Driven by value.
Welcome back to your Nebraska Volleyball Show. Pre-recorded this week, but so thrilled to have you. My name's John Baylor. There's the head coach, undefeated, 2-0, Danny Busboom Kelly. This one's brought to you by Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation. stands with farmers through every season, preparing the table to nourish families, communities in the world. Everyone's welcome. Your seed is saved. Central Valley Ag. And contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free. It's easy. It is the law. All right. Lipscomb and Kentucky coming up this weekend. You were a player in 03 and 04 and then 05 and 06. But in 03 and 04, Craig Skinner was assistant coach. What kind of assistant coach was he? And did you project at that time the success he's had now at Kentucky for 2 decades?
Well, I don't remember much about my freshman year, so I think he was great.
Another lifetime ago.
Yeah, sophomore year, I felt like Craig, in all seriousness, he was always the coach that players really enjoyed talking to. You could go to him with the problem. Just, a dad-like figure. He was also a really good player, which was always fun.
Amazing athlete.
Yeah, so.
I mean, Craig Skinner is a scratch golfer. He was a walk-on punter for Bo Schembechler at Michigan before he transferred to Ball State to play volleyball. I don't remember giving up one varsity sport to transfer to another school to play another. But so in practice, he did a lot of the playing.
Yes. Yep. And he was a great assistant, and obviously done a fantastic job at Kentucky, which is not surprising to I think anybody that played for him or worked with him.
Was it tough suddenly having someone that you looked up to, and now you're really a rival of, competing against for recruits?
Well, it was tough for the first 4 years because we beat them, and then we won 4 in a row. So that it got easier.
From your vantage point.
Yes.
So you won the last 4. You played them annually. It was a big state of Kentucky
big
deal.
match, yeah.
Nice. And that's on Sunday. And then you got Lipscomb on Friday. And you don't have a lot of tape on Lipscomb. They haven't played, but it's their alumni game, and they're calling it a block party, and so there should be a huge crowd. Do you have any idea what's going on across the net for them, or you just...
I honestly don't know. I know they only have 3 returning players, so the rest are freshmen or transfers. But I know their coach very well, and he's high energy coach. They always play really clean. They're just they play a good brand of volleyball. Obviously being Lipscomb, a mid-major, they don't have quite the athletes that Kentucky or Nebraska have, but they'll be good. It's not going to be a team you go in there and you just roll immediately.
They just had 2 losses in their entire conference season last year. They played Nebraska pretty tough 2 years ago. It's going to be on the road this time, big crowd.
Fun fact, my first year at Louisville as an assistant coach, Lipscomb beat Louisville.
Whoa.
So I think it was one of their first big Power 5 wins. And I think at the time, Louisville was ranked in the top 20 for sure. When
you got back to your house that night, was there a for sale sign in your front yard?
Luckily, no.
That's Texas high school football. You lose a game, the coach comes home at midnight. There's a for sale sign, maybe a couple of them in the front yard. Let's talk about this weekend. There were so many close calls. Can't think of any major upsets, although I'd call Florida over Stanford a minor upset. What do you attribute that to? Just early season teams trying to find themselves?
For sure. And you don't really know what to expect that first weekend. Is how good are we? We don't have film on our opponents, so the coaching, the scouting is kind of taken out of the equation. I think coaches at this time are a little bit in the experimental phase, and you might want to see what some players can do, especially in these big moments. But that's what's so valuable about it is you're not experimenting against a team you're better than. You're experimenting against teams that are equal to you, and it really gives you a good gauge of where you're at and what you need to work on.
Allie Check in the Sunday 3-set sweep over Stanford hits 400, gets 12 kills. And that's really the most productive we've seen in opposite since Merritt Beeson, Halloween, and earlier last year. How does that change your team?
Honestly, it doesn't change it much. So, Virginia's been great. Allie's been great in practice. And, I think they're just a little bit different in their talents and what they bring to the offense and defense. So Husker fans can expect to see both of them a lot this year. And we just felt like we wanted to start Allie on the second day and woke up and it's like, let's do it. And she played great.
Now, is there real competition in the gym every week for playing time still? And how do you calibrate performance in practice performance in matches? How do you weigh it all to determine who gets the start like you did with Allie on Sunday?
A lot of it is in practice, but there's more that, I mean, it's not just about stats or how you perform. I think it's the total picture. Sometimes it's about the opponent we're playing and maybe the offense they run or the defense they run. And that's the beauty of this year is as a coaching staff, we can get really creative about how we want to use players. Now, the hardest part about that is keeping everybody engaged and understanding that it's not really about it is about their performance, but that is not the biggest thing. It's about how the team can perform with them against a certain opponent.
Do you stat every drill in practice?
Pretty much.
So you're quantifying everything?
Yes, but again, we don't look at stats for the total picture.
When you're playing a Kennedy Martin or on the opposite, or an Olivia Babcock, does Taylor Landfair probably have a slight advantage as you're trying to decide who gets to play there? But you could put in a smaller player like a Skylar Pierce if you're not facing such a large.
For sure, and Skylar's a great blocker too. So all of our outsides are good blockers, but yeah, Taylor is pretty tough to hit around, and I think she has the most experience. She reads the attacker really well, so starting her against Pitt was a no-brainer. Then she came up clutch. And she's a 6-year player. Exactly.
I mean, she's been around.
Yeah, she's had some experience.
She could say, let me tell you about pre-NIL. And everyone just sits down and says, slow down. Because they're like, what's all this? Exactly. But she started in 2019.
Yeah.
She's been around, and boy, she's saving some of her best for last. That certainly happened this weekend. She had 8 blocks on Friday night. Stay right there. We got more Nebraska Volleyball Show with yours truly, John Baylor, and there's the head coach, Danny Busboom Kelly.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins'. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
You're gonna feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers. Driven by value.
All right, Coach.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs?
Appreciate it.
Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See shelter agent Jeb Brandt in Hastings, Callie Schilke in Imperial, or Rick Missioner in Beatrice.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Your next vehicle is waiting for you at Woodhouse Buick GMC. Right now, you can save up to $10,000 off MSRP on the 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation Crew Cab 4x4. Explore our current offers in-store or online today. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade. With approved credit, must own and trade in a 2011 or newer passenger car or truck. Tax, title, license extra, $299 doc due at signing. Offer applies to select stock numbers. Stock number V250770. Offer expires September 2nd, 2025. See dealer for details.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
And welcome back to your Nebraska Volleyball Show with the head coach, Danny Busboom Kelly. My name's John Baylor. This one's brought to you by League One Volleyball. Coming to Omaha again this January, featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson and also Lexi Rodriguez should be starting at libero this year. Love Omaha Volleyball is Omaha's newest pro team. Visit LOVB.com for tickets. LOVB.com for tickets. And the Nebraska Volleyball Coaches Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, where people don't have your money has people. Danny Busboom Kelly with us, and let's go back to the questions. Jeff in Omaha, what would it take for volleyball to institute a rule like football where a player can play in a few games and still redshirt? Football gets 4 games. Volleyball's equivalent would be like 9 or 10. Wouldn't it be valuable to get the freshmen in some true game situations but still retain a year of eligibility?
For sure. Unfortunately, I don't think that's up to us or too many people besides the NCAA. I know coaches would love it changed. It really doesn't make any sense to have no point played. But I did find out basketball is the same way. One point and you're done. You go in there, you miss 1-3, you get yanked, you lose a whole year of eligibility. Exactly. So it'd be nice if they would. Everything else we have to do because of football's lead. So let us take some of the good stuff too. Exactly. Football guys get to play 4 games and get to stick around and the for a
bowl
year.
game. It'd be like our freshmen should be able to play the NCAA tournament then.
Yeah. I think redshirting is underrated. Let me tell you about adulthood. It's a little overrated. So stick around if you can. The meal plan, you've been to the meals, like not the fancy training table. I'm talking the dorms.
Oh,
man,
the training table.
Training table's sweet too. I'm just talking about the regular dorm food. I mean, those janitors have to push, get me out of there. I mean, I'd be like, classes, I'll go virtual. Give me another bowl of soup. Meanwhile, there's a lot going on in college that we miss out on here in the adult world. Speaking of the topic, are you ready to divulge anything regarding redshirting, or is this still internal info only?
Yeah, I think it's internal. I just don't know if it's going to. You never know until you get maybe a couple more weeks, really for sure what you want to do. We've had conversations about plans, but want to make sure that our players are good with us sharing that information as well.
The head coach, Danny Busboom Kelly, I'm just now recalling a comment you once made to me. You said, JB, if it were up to you, you would redshirt the entire team.
It's true.
And you're like, bring out the Delta Gammas for a season.
It's true. You'd have 6 players redshirt the rest.
But you think there were some years where it would have been helpful if a player had not played. Let's focus on the future. But has redshirting changed now with all the changes in the sport?
I don't feel like it's changed a lot. There was one time, and I think it's still on the table, of giving everybody 5 years. So instead of 4 years of eligibility, everybody gets 5 years, all athletes. But that sounds like that is not going to pass. Okay. I don't know. I think that's really up in the air. So we have to carry on like it's not going to pass.
Speaking of changes, how do you like the AVCA rules that they somehow were able to push through and implement for the matches this weekend?
I think part of that is week 0, so it's a good week to try things. But I love the Bolt 6. I wish they would make that a priority for the NCAA tournament at minimum. That's, if you don't know what Bolt 6 is, that's the in and out, no line judges.
22 cameras.
Amazing.
A little pricey, but amazing.
As far as the timeouts, I wasn't a huge fan of that.
Really?
I thought it took away some of the coaching strategy and gave teams breaks, especially with the one that's at 20. You know, you're up 20-18 and a coach gets a freebie timeout. That's kind of a bummer.
Okay.
And then you're tied at 24-24. You're done.
One timeout
you
left.
might have used it already. So.
And then you still get the 2 green cards. That hadn't changed.
Yep.
And if you lose a green card challenge, then you lose a green card. But if you're successful, you keep it. And then in set 5, they add if you've already burned one, they give you one back. So you saw coaches looking for challenges when there really wasn't much to challenge. They were out of timeouts.
Yep. So I think that would happen even more.
You're thinking the conventional rules. You'd like to stay with those.
Yeah, besides the Bolt 6.
You love the Bolt 6, but you're not crazy about the 1st to 10 media timeout, 1st to 20 media timeout. Coaches only get 1 timeout each.
Yeah.
You like the 1st to 15 if no one's burned a timeout.
Now, I do like the media timeout at 15 should be full time. But I was a big fan of the 30-second timeouts that the coaches called. So
okay, those are shorter.
Yes. And just big fan of that.
Keep the action going. And the argument for reducing the number of timeouts is that when you have a 22-22 drama-filled moment in a volleyball match, and if the coaches still have, let's say, between them 3 timeouts.
Yeah, it's timeout.
Timeout. Hold everything. Another timeout. Like,
I know,
the fans are like, oh boy. I mean, I don't
then
want
you have a challenge, and you're like, wow.
I don't want to, but I might as well get off this couch and go wander over and see if I can find a sub in the fridge with all these timeouts here. So it steals. It kind of has that end of a basketball game,
which is true. I mean, from a fan perspective, I probably would like it. For coaching perspective.
For a basketball game, when there's like 9 minutes left in the game and it's close, you're like, this game's not ending for 40 minutes.
Maybe they should do like a 30-second for volleyball or a full tee timeout. You get one of each or something.
You played a lot of hoops. You're pretty good at that 30-second timeout where you just went right to your shoulder blades there with your fingers. That's Danny Busboom Kelly. This is coming from Anonymous. Some people just want to lay low when they have questions. It seems to me over the last few seasons, the rules have become more loose on calls like lifts, carries, throws, etc. Your thoughts?
Let them play.
Like, what about carries, though?
Yeah, it's like the doubles. It's a judgment call. And so the more we can take the refs out of the game, the better, in my opinion.
So like Amber Holmquist, she would just grab the ball and just throw it down. You're thinking, like, when is it?
Yeah,
that's
I know.
A little much.
I know. You have to have something, but the double rule drove me absolutely nuts because it's like if a setter doubles it, they don't call it. But as soon as your middle goes out there and it spins once, it's double. It's like, let's treat everybody the same here.
Do you agree that was a great decision,
yes,
though controversial at the time, last year to basically get rid of the doubles?
Great decision.
How has it changed strategy as a coach?
It hasn't that much because, except you want to tell your players to set it because you're not going to get called for a double, but it still has to be a good set. So it didn't change the strategy a ton.
But you would think setters who otherwise might be a little anxious, maybe a little less skilled, they can just cut loose. And so athleticism would be rewarded more.
I would have done much better without the double call.
How often do you double?
Maybe I would have had to switch to libero.
Suddenly, if that had come into play, you would have been still down. Were you still a little ticked you had to switch to libero? You were such a great libero in 2006.
No, I'm not still ticked.
But you were for a while.
Of course.
But there was super competition.
There was.
I mean, you, Maggie, Rachel Holloway. Yeah. I mean, you were ready. That's who you are. You're like, all right, bring it on. But you move to libero, it's like, there's nobody here. And if I'm playing third base and there are 4 other guys, there's no one playing second, I'm like, Coach, let me go try over there. But you were like, no, that was. Take us back to that day.
Here we go. John has embellished this story.
Can we get the true story? I mean, he's got your mom Bonnie involved in the whole deal. I think there was a neighbor who got involved.
I also laugh because John's like, I haven't seen Danny. Well, it was Christmas break, so I don't know if he was expecting me to be hanging around or what.
You're like pitching hay down there in Cortland.
Exactly.
You grew up in Cortland, Princeton, or Adams? Let me just get this right.
Well, my parents' farm is outside of Cortland.
Cortland.
But the school is in Adams.
Gotcha. So Cortland's kind of a whistle-stop suburb of Adams. All right, and that's where you grew. Gotcha. Okay. And then there's greater metropolis of Princeton.
Well, that has like 5 people.
I think
that's just where you like either you slow down for the speed limit or you just risk it and go right through for that quarter mile.
Princeton's kind of like what happens before a resume speed sign. I mean, a lot of these small towns, you need like a 5 iron and a 4 iron, and like a 6 iron. Princeton, you need kind of like an 8 iron and a 9 iron. Make sure you don't hit anybody. But these are beautiful towns, and that's where you grew up.
Yes.
And so you were down there over Christmas break. The coach was wondering, are you going to move to Libero, yes or no?
Yeah.
And then how long did it take you to decide, okay, I'm all in?
Well, I wasn't ever going to quit. It's just
There's no portal back then.
Yeah, no portal. It was just, am I going to have an attitude about this or move on?
Well, you could have moved to softball, but that never crossed your mind.
Well, I almost played softball my 5th year. I'd already talked to Rhonda Revelle about it.
Why didn't you?
Because I went to USA and trained there for a semester.
As a libero. You played libero 1 year, and you were a candidate to play on the national team at that position?
I should have never left. Who knows?
The national team.
Yeah.
You were competitive. Oh, you left. They didn't throw you out of the program.
No.
They didn't say you're not good enough. You decided to leave to go coach.
Yeah.
Okay. I think history is important. All righty. You can join us anytime at 402-413-2400. 402-413-2400. Just text in your questions and at huskerradio.com. Or just at Husker Radio. That's a Twitter handle. And that's the head coach, Danny Busbom Kelly, still undefeated at 2-0. You got a chance, I presume, to watch Penn State perhaps twice this weekend. Saturday, how do you think they looked against Creighton?
Really good. In fact, this is my dad for you who's honest.
Gene.
I was like, hey, do you think Penn State looked better than us? He's like, oh, yeah. Thanks, Dad.
That's what you want. That's what you want Dad to tell you the way it is. Yeah. That's the way Gene is, a straight shooter.
Exactly.
So after Saturday, he was thinking it over, going, they looked awfully good. But then how'd they look Monday against Kansas?
Well, I think Kansas played great, and just like any great team, like Penn State, they're traveling to Lincoln, they go to South Dakota, there's a lot more distractions, there's things,
I-29, I mean the whole deal.
Yeah, so, I thought definitely maybe came down to earth a little bit, but, they've got the athletes at every position to be back stronger than last year.
Maybe their left side's a little down from a year ago, but that's not saying much. Jess Mirza, Cameron Hanna. But they got the setter and the libero back. And, boy, if you're watching from the floor, which is a totally different vantage point from up high where I typically sit, I got to watch that Creighton match against Penn State from the floor. And you watch Izzy Stark and you watch Jillian Grimes, their libero. By the way, they're their only starters who are homegrown. Everyone else is a transfer. They are in control. They anticipate beautifully. Why am I talking? Give us your assessment of Penn State and how important those two are.
Oh, they're so important. Izzy Stark is just an incredible athlete. She's so smooth, quick to the ball. Grimes has, made a name for herself the last 2 years, kind of breakout year. And your team is going to run around your setter and libero. They touch the ball the most. They are in natural leadership positions. So very important, and they have two of the best.
Conventionally, it would seem that Nebraska's reputation was, okay, we're big, we're physical, we're going to be pretty conventional and predictable, but just try to stop us. This year, it seems like you got some more wrinkles in the offense. Is that a fair assessment?
I don't know if there's wrinkles because Nebraska's always done this. It's maybe, our players have a little more confidence to actually pull them out in a match and in a big moment.
For example, Bergen, at least Friday night against Pitt, was slinging the volleyball all over the place. And from our vantage point, it wasn't so much like outside, and she was set in the middle a heck of a lot.
Yeah.
And my guess is every coach wants to set the middle. Are you prioritizing it even more perhaps than you have in years past?
I've always prioritized it, so this isn't more or less. It's just a big priority of mine, and I also think it's important in recruiting. I want to show middles, if they come to Nebraska, they're going to have a chance to get kills, not just blocks.
If your two middles are healthy the whole way, do you think about trying to preserve the other two for an extra year of eligibility? Because, boy, did they look good in the preseason.
Yeah, they're very good. That's going to be more conversation. JB says yes.
I'm Dr. Redshirt.
There's also, it's valuable, though, also, JB, to get these young players experience. So next year, when we play somebody great the first game of the year, they're like, I'm used to this.
Play them a ton in beach, just like nonstop. Play them on all 5 teams. Mania, I know you just finished one match. Get out there and play another. But here's the thinking is that those first two are so talented, and these second two look like they're ready to go. Forget about these personalities and these year's teams in general. Theoretically, do you burn a red shirt only if a player can meaningfully contribute to that year's team, or is it less formal than that?
I think that's about right. You want to make sure, that they can contribute, not just throwing them in random matches. But there's more that goes into it. There's school that goes into it. I mean, there's the experience. I don't know.
Do you think it's an easier issue to persuade a player to redshirt now that they're going to be getting compensation?
Yeah.
So they'll be more open to it.
I would think.
Gotcha.
We've
in the world.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't be.
Stick around here and make dough. It's a good gig. Adulthood can be a little overrated. Stay right there. We got more Nebraska Volleyball Show after you hear this.
When you buy a Subaru, you're buying more than a vehicle. You're buying safety for your family, an investment that will hold its value, and something that will last a long, long time. In fewer words, you're buying trust. And for a limited time, you can celebrate with special offers during the Subaru A Lot to Love event, now through September 2nd. Get special low rates on select new Subaru vehicles now through September 2nd. Visit Duto Subaru in Lincoln and online at dutosubaru.com.
This life we love has never been easy. We've been blessed with million-dollar rains, and we've watched hope dry up. Still, we press on because our purpose is greater. Central Valley Ag prepares the table alongside our farmers, not just to grow food, but to nourish our families and our communities. At this table, everyone's welcome. Join us. We're saving you a seat. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers. Driven by value.
Welcome back to your Nebraska Volleyball Show, brought to you by Woodhouse. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. And the Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is beautiful and is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. You face Kentucky, Coach Busboom Kelly, on Saturday, Central Time, first serve, 11 o'clock, neutral site, though Husker fans might make it not seem like a neutral site. We're going to be in Nashville for that one on Broadway Street, the big old hockey arena where the Nashville Predators play. They're called the Preds. I learned that at the Nashville airport. But who do you think is going to be setting for Kentucky? You know they've got great outsides. What do you know about their setting?
I think the junior, I think she's a junior, sophomore, junior, just having 2 years in their gym. It's got to give her a little bit of an edge, especially to start the first match. It might be one of those cases where that's not the setting for Kentucky in December. The freshman, super talented, so it could be either, but my gut tells me they're going to go with the experience out of the gate. And again, it might not be the same all season.
Now, Eva Hudson played at Purdue last year. She transferred to Kentucky. Eva Hudson averaged 3.7 kills a set, and she joins a Kentucky team which had the SEC Player of the Year, Brooklyn DeLay, who averaged 3.8 kills a set. Both of them also hit about 300. So when you're getting that many swings and everyone knows you're going to swing and you're playing on the outside and you're hitting almost 300, these are two remarkable outsides. We're going to play 6 rotations each. How does that affect your defensive scheme?
It's going to be quite the challenge for us. And not only are both of them great front row attackers, but like Olivia Babcock, they are great in the back row. So it'll be a lot of Bick go. Bick is the back row set right up the middle. So we'll be defending that a lot this week in practice. And you got to expect that those two are going to play great. And then there's a challenge of, it's not like Kentucky has crummy players around them. So then, if some other player decides to go off, you're dealing with the two lefts, you got somebody else to deal with. So going to be a really great match.
They've got some returning middles. They've also got a huge, 6'5" opposite who transferred in from Purdue as well. Do you believe in blocking a back row attack always, or do you ever ask your players, you stay on the ground, we're just going to dig a back row attack?
This day and age, I feel like you got to block. The front row, we talked to them about the front row is the first line of defense. So whatever they can get their hands on, they need to try to get their hands on.
So most players, when they're attacking from the back row, you don't trust your 3 diggers back there. That's not enough.
Of course I do. But
I mean, you want them to have a little extra help. That's what I meant to say.
Exactly.
Okay, so you're going to block back row. Single block often, or do you want to see 4 hands when possible?
You'd like 4, but depends how fast Kentucky's running their pin sets. So it's going to be really hard for the left side to help. So Harper, Taylor, Terea, Skylar, who's ever in there, because they have a really fast dog. So they almost have to leave and go with the slide. So they're probably out of it. It'd be more, can the right fronts help? But then you're like, they got to be focused on these outsides. It's going to be a tough challenge.
Danny Busboom Kelly, Harper Murray has been with you since the beginning of this year. Has she changed in just those 7-8 months?
Not for me. I obviously don't know her from.
I mean, as a player.
As a player.
I mean, it just seems like she had more maturity, calm, and she was a great player last December. But what she put together at the end of the set 4 against Pittsburgh with those 5 kills late just suggested she's ready for something else, like a
it feels like she's ready for, the next step.
How's her passing? I mean, they tried to serve her set 1.
And then you noticed, Stanford didn't serve her at all. So
exactly.
She passed great on Friday.
Can you think of a lot of great outside hitters who are not just amazing offensive weapons, but also are great passers, and the opposing team avoids them with their serve?
I can think of some. I think DeLay, who we're about to see on Sunday.
Brooklyn DeLay is a great passer. Gotcha.
Very good. Hudson is not bad.
Eva Hudson,
Chloe Chacoin, who was at Purdue last year, she's definitely one of the best passers in the country. So,
how do you think Olivia Malk passed this past weekend?
Oh, fantastic.
You'd love to see every serve go to Olivia Malk.
Yes, that's please.
Point at her. So the fan should be, when the other team's serving, the fan should be pointing at Olivia. Yeah. Serve her with arrow sides. Yeah. Nice. How did Lainey pass?
She passed really well too. We look statistically, they were both great, and Lainey got credited for a couple aces from Babcock, but we're not going to hold that against her. Those were tough ones. They literally landed on the line, or clipped the line. So when those get in your stats, it really skews your passing statistics. So try to, again, stats don't tell the whole picture.
Bergen was setting middle on passes and digs. They were pulling her beyond the 10-foot line. That's what you wanted her to do?
Yeah. The middles are up. If they're ready, fire them the ball.
Is it a lot easier or a little easier to set a right side who's a lefty rather than a right-hander?
Probably a little. I wouldn't go a lot because, those lefties are human too. They need good sets. So a little easier, though. They just have a little more room for air, just the way they're approaching to the ball.
Terea Sigler, not just for the back row anymore. She showed up in the front row.
She's a great attacker.
And how do you think she's playing in the back row?
She played really, really, really well as a freshman, and in that moment, she knew teams were going to target her. And same with Harper. After Friday, you didn't see Stanford serving her very often. She passed great on Friday.
This one's brought to you by Woodhouse. Been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with a home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. So you're having a lot of fun on the bench. I didn't get to see it a lot because I was way up high at the PBA, AVCA First Serve. But the fans have commented a little bit on how you're really enjoying yourself during the match. And just tell us, how fun is it down there when the team's playing so well?
Oh, coaching is a blast. So I think it's always fun, even the not so great moments. The fact that coaches get paid to do their job is, now I don't want to pay cut. Let me back that up. But it's a pretty amazing job to have, and this team is fun, and we have so many weapons and so many great athletes, and to see them playing very well and to showcasing that. That makes it even better. So I was sitting there like, well, those are pretty nice swing there by Andy Jackson, like thinking. And sometimes you just have to laugh or smile because it's like, that was pretty nice.
Enjoy the journey. Meanwhile, who are your leaders out there on the floor?
I definitely think it's your 6 rotation players. Bergen and Harper are, great floor captains. They're out there the whole time. We need them to be vocal, but everybody else is also a leader in their own way. I think Lainey Choboy has a leadership about her on the floor, and she's very organized and just a loud communicator, which we want. And you have the middles, they're running, the defense from the front row, middle of the court, and they both are voted captains. So, the team's going to listen to them.
Is most of the talking happening before the serve, or is there a lot of yelling going on during the rally?
A lot of yelling during.
Can they all hear each other? Is everyone just yelling at the same time?
No, I think they know when they're supposed to be communicating appropriately.
And what are they saying? Are they saying like mine, or are they saying like, red 46, 17?
They're saying a lot of mine.
Nice.
and yours.
Got it.
So groundbreaking things here. But they're also calling their sets, or, like the libero say, hey, 2 up, which means, or lines open. So when the attacker's going up to attack, they have a little bit of an idea. But
how much of a relief was it for you to get that win on Friday?
It was pretty relieving, and you don't really know what to expect. I know we're good, and I think we're one of the best teams in the country. But that's what I think. You don't know until you play somebody else and you see your players. And I also truly do believe we have the best team in the country as far as depth. But that doesn't mean that our 7, 8 players that are playing are better than anybody else's 7 or 8. So
you're saying if you can play 17 at a time, you like your chances.
Yeah, exactly.
Coach Danny Busboom Kelly, thanks.
Thank you.
Stay right there. The Nebraska Volleyball Show, Tuesdays from 6 until 7. We got Sports Nightly next. I'm John Baylor. Good night, Nebraska.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns: a free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Turn up the heat during the Honda Summer Event at Woodhouse Honda. Drive off in style with limited time offers happening now. Lease the 2026 Honda Civic 2-wheel drive Sport for $299 a month for 36 months and 10,000 miles per year. Shop in-store off Highway 281 in Grand Island or online at woodhousehonda.com. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra, security deposit waived, $24.99 due at signing, plus first payment and $2.99 doc fee due at signing. Stock number GH260025. Offer expires 8/31/2025. See dealer for details.